Archangel Michael says, "This silence of yours has become their greatest fear." They expected you to chase, to explain, to defend, but instead you pulled back. And now in the space you created, their mask is beginning to crack, revealing the truth they worked so hard to bury. Your stillness is louder than any argument, and they can feel it burning through their false confidence. Every second you stay quiet, their own conscience rises up against them. The things they did behind closed doors, the whispers they thought you'd never hear are starting to press down on their chest. They cannot predict your next move. And that uncertainty terrifies them. You have become unreadable, unshakable, and that makes you powerful. Deep inside they are realizing that their games are no longer working on you. Your silence has turned into a mirror forcing them to face their own betrayals. What they see there is not beautiful, not clean, not innocent. It is raw, guilty and trembling with the weight of exposure. Type Amen to get blessing 333. This person knows that the universe has been watching everything. They are not as invincible as they once believed. With every heartbeat, they are aware that their actions will soon come to light. Even when they smile, their hands betray them with a slight shake. Even when they laugh, their voice carries a nervous crack. Silence has shifted the balance and they are losing control over what they once thought was unbreakable. Your decision to stay quiet was not weakness. It was strategy. You let them show who they truly are without interruption. And now the truth they tried to bury is rising like fire from the ashes. They sense a storm is building around them. One that no excuse can shield them from. The fear of you knowing, the fear of you finally speaking, keeps them restless at night. They wonder if today is the day you reveal everything. Type Amen to get blessing. For 44, Archangel Michael says their nervousness is not by accident. It is a sign. A sign that the heavens have already begun shifting the energy in your favor. A sign that justice is coming, carried on unseen wings. They know they crossed lines that should have never been touched. They remember the moments they chose deception over loyalty, lies over love, greed over honesty. And those moments are now replaying in their minds, haunting them like shadows they cannot escape. Your silence echoes like thunder in their ears. They wait for your words, but none arrive. And that frightens them more than anything. Because silence to them means you have seen it all. What they fear most is not your anger. It is your awareness. They know the power of truth and they know truth cannot be killed by denial. That is why they tremble now, pretending to be calm while their insides collapse. Type Amen to get blessing 555. This nervousness is just the beginning of their unraveling. They cannot outrun the truth. Not anymore. You became the calm force that stopped giving them chances to twist the story. Each step you take in silence sends waves through their thoughts. They rehearse explanations, but none of them sound convincing, even to themselves. They know that once the silence breaks, the entire structure they built will collapse. You are not the one losing sleep. They are. You are not the one looking over your shoulder. You are not the one haunted by guilt. They are their nervous glances, their restless pacing, their sudden avoidance. These are all confessions without words. They do not realize that heaven has already written the conclusion. Their downfall has already begun. Type Amen to get blessing 666. Their movements are now full of hesitation, as if every step might trigger an alarm they cannot see. You've become an unshakable mystery in their world, and your silence is a fortress they cannot climb. Each time they try to approach you, their own guilt whispers louder than your words ever could. The distance you have created has become their nightmare. They cannot control the story anymore because you are no longer feeding it. The energy they once fed on is now starving them from the inside out. They are haunted by the moments they thought you weren't looking. But you were watching, feeling, recording everything without a single outburst. Now those memories of their own actions are becoming heavier than any punishment you could give. Their nights are long and cold, even in warmth. They roll over with eyes wide open, feeling the weight of what is coming. The mask they built is crumbling, and they know there is no way to rebuild it. Tape men to get blessing. 777. Archangel Michael says, the silence you are holding is not emptiness. It is power. It is a sacred pause, a holy boundary that heaven helped you create. In this stillness, the scales are tipping, and their nervousness is proof of it. The person you are thinking of cannot stop imagining you finding out everything. They replay your calm face in their mind, and it frightens them more than any confrontation. They realize too late that silence is not weakness. It's a signal of awakening. They try to present a brave face, but their hands tremble when no one is watching. They are making mistakes, slipping up in small ways because the pressure of truth is building inside them. You've become the mirror they cannot shatter. Each time they look at you, they see their own hidden actions staring back at them. This is why they are nervous now, because the truth has already begun to expose them without you saying a word. Type Amen to get blessing. 888. Their circle is shrinking because they no longer trust the people they once used to confide in. The silence you've chosen has become a current of energy that draws everything hidden into the open. One by one, their secrets are leaking out like water from a cracked vessel. They whisper to themselves at night, trying to craft explanations that sound believable. But deep inside they know that no explanation will be enough. The energy around you has shifted, and heaven has already decided the outcome. Your silence is a signal to the unseen world that you are done playing small. And because of this, the truth is now working on your behalf. It is becoming impossible for them to keep up their act. The heaviness they feel in their chest is not random. It is the weight of exposure. The nervousness they feel is not just fear of you. It is fear of the inevitable. Heaven's timing is perfect, and it is moving even now. Type Amen to get blessing 999. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $20. They check their phone constantly, half expecting a message from you that never comes. That small glowing screen has become their torment because your silence is louder than any text they could receive. They know that when you do speak, it will not be out of anger, but out of truth, and truth will end the game. They have started to lose their composure in front of others. Their voice trembles, their eyes dart, their smiles no longer reach their eyes. People around them are beginning to notice the cracks, even without knowing the full story. Archangel Michael says, heaven has already moved the pieces into place. The time of hidden shadows is ending, and the nervousness you're sensing in them is a sign of that ending. You are being protected even as they unravel. Your calmness is their undoing. Your restraint is the sword they cannot see. Every moment you remain grounded, their own conscience slices deeper into their false narrative. Type Amen to get blessing 10. They will soon reach a point where they cannot pretend anymore. The silence you've held will break them before you ever have to. This is the natural unfolding of divine justice. Already they are losing sleep, appetite, and peace. Already the people they trusted are slipping away. Already they are realizing that what they built was not real and cannot last. You, on the other hand, are stepping into a higher place. Heaven is surrounding you with strength and clarity. The nervousness you sense is confirmation that your path is guarded. Their story is reaching its final chapter. And when the last page turns, the truth will be standing unshaken beside you. The power you carry now is silent but unstoppable. Type Amen to get blessing. 111. They wake up each morning with heaviness pressing on their chest. Their nerves cannot settle because silence from you is like thunder waiting to strike. They cannot tell if today will be the day you finally speak. They play out scenes in their mind, imagining what you might say. The fear of exposure wraps around them like a chain. No excuse feels strong enough to cover what they have done. Your calmness makes them restless, for it is unpredictable. They cannot calculate your next step, and that uncertainty consumes their thoughts. They once believed they held control, but that illusion is gone. Their nervous laughter, their shaky hands, their distracted words, these are signs. Heaven is forcing their mask to slip even when they try to hold it tight. You, by doing nothing, have already done everything. Type Amen to get blessing. 1212. They are being crushed by the very silence they once dismissed. What they thought was your weakness has become your greatest weapon. You are the quiet storm building in the distance. Every time they hear your name, their heart races. Every time your presence enters the room, their soul shakes. They know they cannot hide forever. Archangel Michael says, the silence you keep is wrapped in heavenly fire. It is a shield and a sword cutting through lies without effort. The nervousness they feel is not from you alone. It is from the unseen truth pressing against them. Their facade is collapsing like a house of cards. One small gust of wind will bring everything down, and that gust is already moving closer. Type Amen to get blessing 1313. They look around with paranoia, afraid that others can see through them too. Their secrets are slipping out in ways they cannot control. What was once hidden is now trembling at the surface. They rehearse apologies, but they sound hollow even in their own ears. They imagine your silence breaking at any moment, and the thought makes their stomach churn. They dread the day when words finally flow from your mouth. Their nervousness is a confession in itself. They may not admit what they've done, but their restless energy tells the story. Everyone who looks close enough can see it. You don't need to confront them yet because heaven is already making them confront themselves. The nervousness is proof that their guilt is alive and restless. Your silence is the stage where their downfall plays out. Type Amen to get blessing. 14:14. The more you stay still, the more they lose control. Their confidence drains like water from a cracked vessel. They cannot hold the image together any longer. What frightens them most is your unpredictability. You could speak at any time. You could expose everything and they would have no way to defend themselves. The silence has given you a power they never imagined. Archangel Michael says this power is divine. It was given to you so you would not waste energy fighting battles that heaven has already won for you. Your silence is heaven's courtroom and they are on trial. The nervous sweat on their forehead is the verdict before the judgment. Their trembling hands are the confession before the revelation. You don't need to rush. Time is already exposing them. Type Amen to get blessing. 15:15. They feel surrounded. Even when they are alone, their mind will not let them escape the consequences of their choices. Every memory of what they did replays with sharper detail. Their nervous pacing leaves footprints of guilt. They cannot sit still because rest has left them. Their soul knows what is coming. Even if their lips never speak it, your silence is heavy to them. It is unbearable. It wraps around them like an invisible chain, binding them tighter each day. They long for you to speak, yet they fear the moment you do. The truth is burning through the surface like fire under glass. They cannot stop the cracks from spreading. What they tried to bury is now alive, and their nervousness proves it. Type Amen to get blessing. 16:16. Their nervousness grows each day you remain quiet. It eats away at their confidence like rust spreading across iron. They never thought silence could scream so loudly. They scroll through old conversations trying to find comfort in past words. But instead of comfort, they find guilt hidden in every memory. The weight of what they try to conceal rises higher with each moment of stillness. The silence has become their shadow. It follows them even into their sleep, shaking them awake with sudden jolts of panic. They are haunted not by your words but by your refusal to speak. This is the silent justice of heaven. You didn't need to raise your voice because truth is louder than lies and their nerves prove they can already hear it. Type Amen to get blessing. 17:17. Archangel Michael says, the heavens have turned your silence into a mighty weapon. It is not weakness but strength cloaked in stillness. That strength is now unraveling everything they tried to build on deception. They look over their shoulder more often now, afraid of what's coming. They try to act normal, but inside they are trembling. Their nervous glances betray their true state of mind. Each moment of quiet is an hour of torment for them. They know the truth is close, too close to be ignored. The stillness you keep has become their judgment day. Their nervousness is a prophecy in motion. It reveals what their lips cannot say. And soon, even without your words, everyone will see it. Type Amen to get blessing. 1818, their appetite fades. Their laughter feels forced. Their eyes can't hold steady. Even the smallest silence in a room reminds them of you. Their body is betraying the guilt their voice tries to deny. They cannot escape the truth because it has entered their soul. The nervous energy that surrounds them is visible to anyone who pays attention. Heaven is squeezing the truth out of them piece by piece. You have already won this battle by choosing not to fight in their arena. They expected anger, but you gave them silence. They expected noise, but you gave them peace. This unexpected move has shattered their plans. They cannot rewrite the story anymore. And the nervousness they carry is evidence of their defeat. Type Amen to get blessing 1919. They thought distance would free them, but instead it tightened the grip of truth. Every time they try to distract themselves, the silence pulls them back to reality. No escape is strong enough to silence their conscience. They grow more fragile each day. People around them notice something is wrong, though they cannot explain it. Their words stutter, their smiles fall apart, their excuses sound thin. Archangel Michael says, "You are divinely protected through this silence." What feels like a pause is actually a shield guarding you from unnecessary battles. Their nervous energy is proof that heaven's justice is active. Your silence has turned into their teacher. Each restless night is a lesson. Each trembling moment is a reminder that they cannot outrun what's been set in motion. Type Amen to get blessing 2020. The cracks are spreading faster now. Their world is shaking from the inside out. Though they try to look calm on the surface, but silence has a way of revealing what noise can hide. You've become the storm that doesn't roar. Your silence is thunder wrapped in calm skies. And they know the strike is coming, even if you say nothing. They fear the moment you finally speak. Yet they also fear the silence never ending. Either way, they are trapped. The nervousness consumes them and there is no way back. The truth has already been written in heaven's book. And heaven never lies. Their nerves are only the early signs of what has already been decided. Type Amen to get blessing. 2121, their nervousness is no longer hidden. It spills into their daily actions. The smallest sound makes them flinch. The simplest silence makes them sweat. They are trapped in a cycle of fear that they cannot escape. You, without speaking, have become the voice of truth. They feel judged every time you enter the room, even if you say nothing. The silence has turned into their greatest punishment. The weight of their own conscience is heavier than anything you could place upon them. They walk with a shadow that follows them, whispering of exposure. Their nerves are proof that justice has already begun. The silence continues to echo in their chest. It beats louder than their own heart. and the world around them is beginning to notice. Type Amen to get blessing. 22:22. Archangel Michael says this nervousness is their unraveling. Heaven is peeling back the layers of deceit they tried to hide behind. No wall they build can protect them from the truth anymore. They feel as though eyes are on them constantly. Even in solitude, they are restless, pacing, trembling. Their guilt has turned into a living shadow. The power of silence is transforming you into an unstoppable force. What once drained you is now draining them. They cannot find peace because heaven has stripped it away. The balance has shifted. What was once tilted in their favor has turned in yours. They are now caught in the very trap they set for you. Type Amen to get blessing. 23:23. Their sleep is broken by restless dreams. They see flashes of their wrongdoings replaying like scenes in a film. And when they wake, their heart races with fear of exposure. They pretend to laugh, but the sound carries no life. They force smiles, but the edges tremble. They are living in a shell that is collapsing. Every silence you keep is a new crack in their foundation. They know that one day soon the truth will burst through and nothing will be able to stop it. Their nerves betray them in public spaces. Eyes darting, lips trembling, hands shaking. They can't hide the storm raging inside. And it is only growing stronger. Type Amen to get blessing. 2400 hours. 24. The more they try to act calm, the more obvious their guilt becomes. People begin to sense it without you saying a word. Heaven is exposing them through their own body language. Their conversations grow shorter, their answers less convincing. They stumble over words trying to avoid the topic they fear most. Their nerves write the truth even when their mouth denies it. Archangel Michael says the silence will not last forever. Soon the truth will roar like fire and nothing will remain hidden. Your strength in this moment is the seed of their undoing. They thought you would break first. They thought you would chase. Instead, you stood still and it broke them instead. Type Amen to get blessing. 25:25. They now live in constant anticipation. Every sound feels like a warning. Every silence feels like judgment. They are prisoners of their own choices. You have become the one thing they cannot predict. Your calm has shattered every expectation they had. And that unpredictability drives their nerves deeper each day. Their nervous eyes glance over their shoulder as if the truth is following them. And it is. Heaven has sent it as a shadow they cannot shake. The silence continues to grow louder in their mind. It is no longer just quiet. It is a storm, a verdict, a prophecy, and it cannot be stopped. Type Amen to get blessing. 26:26. Their steps are unsteady now, as if every floor they walk on could collapse beneath them. The silence you've wrapped yourself in has become a trembling earthquake under their feet. They know they cannot keep their mask together for long. The air around them feels heavy, suffocating. Every time your presence lingers, their nerves rattle louder. They are being exposed without you lifting a single word. Their nervousness is a confession in motion. It reveals what their lips are too afraid to say. Every glance, every sigh, every shaky hand is telling the story for them. The silence has cornered them. There is nowhere to run, no way to escape, no excuse strong enough to cover the cracks. Their own soul is crying out against them. Type amen to get blessing. 27:27 They check mirrors often, not to admire themselves, but to see if guilt is visible on their face, and it is. Their reflection betrays them, showing the restlessness they cannot hide. Archangel Michael says, "Heaven is not blind to this trembling." Every nervous beat of their heart is recorded in the unseen. And every restless step is proof that their downfall is drawing closer. They thought you would be the one to lose balance. They thought your silence meant confusion. But it has only meant strength. Now they are unraveling faster than they ever imagined. The weight of silence has become too heavy for them to carry. Their own choices are dragging them down. Tip amen to get blessing. 28:28 Their nights are colder than their days. They lie awake haunted by shadows they cannot silence. The silence you hold has become the echo inside their dreams. Their nervous breaths grow quicker in your presence. They cannot meet your eyes without trembling. They fear that you already know everything. This is heaven's justice playing out slowly. The silence has stretched long enough for them to face themselves. And in that mirror of truth, they cannot stand tall. The nervousness inside them is the crack before the collapse. It is the storm before the fall. And it will only grow louder from here. Type amen to get blessing. 29:29 They attempt to distract themselves with shallow pleasures, but nothing numbs the truth anymore. Their nervousness returns the moment they are alone. Even their laughter now sounds forced. Even their words feel rehearsed. They are performing a role they no longer believe in. Archangel Michael says, "Your silence has been sanctified." It is the fire that exposes falsehood, the light that burns shadows away. This nervousness they feel is the fire consuming their mask. They cannot hold on to it much longer. Their body, their mind, their spirit, it is all trembling with the weight of exposure. Silence has broken them without a word spoken. Type amen to get blessing. 30:30 Their hands grow unsteady each time your name is spoken. It is as if the very sound of you carries judgment. They cannot hide their nervous trembling anymore. The silence between you stretches like an endless rope. Every day it tightens around them, leaving them breathless. Their guilt is louder than any excuse they could ever create. They walk with restless energy, pacing without direction. Every pause in conversation feels like a spotlight on their soul. The weight of exposure is crushing them slowly. And still you remain calm. Still you remain unmoved. That calmness is more frightening to them than anger ever could be. Type amen to get blessing. 31:31 They try to find comfort in distractions, but nothing lasts. Their nervous heart drags them back to the truth. Every moment of silence becomes a mirror they cannot escape. Their mask of control slips more often now. People around them see the cracks without even trying. Their nervous laugh, their darting eyes, their unfinished sentences, everything betrays them. Archangel Michael says, "Heaven has chosen this silence as your armor. It shields you while their own conscience destroys them. What you hold within is sacred strength. And they feel it every time they look at you." The nervousness is proof that the truth has already claimed victory. Their collapse is near. Type Amen to get blessing. 3232 They once thought silence meant weakness. Now they know it means power. They underestimated how heavy quiet truth could be. Their heart races whenever they imagine your voice breaking the silence. They fear what will spill out when you finally decide to speak. They know no excuse will be enough to cover their wrongs. The nervous sweat on their brow is not random. It is the body confessing before the lips do. Their restless movements are the soul begging for mercy. Everything they try to hide is already showing. Your silence has cornered them. It has locked them into a prison of their own choices. The nervousness is the sound of chains rattling. Tip Amen to get blessing. 3333 The silence has become unbearable for them. Now it seeps into their mornings, their afternoons, their nights. They cannot escape it. No matter where they run, their nerves keep them from resting. They toss and turn, haunted by memories of what they tried to keep hidden. Their peace has been stolen by the very truth they denied. Archangel Michael says this is divine justice. You do not need to chase them. The heavens are already chasing them with truth. Their nervousness is a warning that their time is running out. The silence has done its work. Soon the weight will be too much and everything they tried to bury will rise to the surface. Their downfall is written and it cannot be erased. Type Amen to get blessing. 3434